Yo, what's going on everybody? Jesus TV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the 1997 science fiction action film Face Off. One of the more interesting concepts I've seen in an action movie. You know, there's a lot of cliche with action movies, but this movie kind of breaks away from that. Obviously there is still cliche, but I don't know, man. I mean, great cast in this movie, all that stuff. We're going to talk about the plot, critic reception. If my hair's a little fucked up, I'm sorry, but it's December 1st. It's Crimmy season, boys. So, happy holidays to you guys. I'll let the holidays begin. And I have 3 videos for you guys today. We have this. We have Dexter to talk about. And then, obviously, we're going to be talking about the Mavs-Pistons game later on tonight. So, yeah. Let's get into the plot. So, FBI Special Agent Sean Archer survives an assassination attempt by homicidal sociopath Castor Troy, but the bullet penetrates Archer's chest and strikes his son Michael, killing the boy. So, he's able to survive it, but the bullet goes straight through him and hits his kid. So obviously he has a lot of resentment, especially being an FBI agent. He wants to get this guy. So yeah, Castor Troy is played by Nicolas Cage. Sean Archer is played by John Travolta. They're gonna swap faces, which is why it's called Face Off, which is fucking insane. That's what makes this movie insane. 6 years later, Archer's vendetta against Castor culminates in his team ambushing Castor, who is with his younger brother and accomplice, Pollux, at a remote desert airstrip. So they're finally closing in 6 years after this tragedy occurs. Castor goads Archer with knowledge of a bomb located somewhere in Los Angeles set to go off in a few days, before being knocked into a coma before Archer can learn more. So in this coma, they take advantage of him, and they have a plan. So, yeah. Pollux, in custody, affirms that the bomb is real, but refuses to reveal its location. He doesn't have to reveal everything to the federal agents. They can't kill him because he won't give them information. That's not really how that works. In secret, Archer reluctantly undergoes a highly experimental face transplant procedure by Dr. Malcolm Walsh to take on Castor Troy's face, voice, and appearance. It would have been one thing if he just took his face, but no, he did the whole damn thing. He looks exactly like Castor Troy now. So yeah. Archer as Troy is taken to the same high security prison where Pollux is being held to kind of fit in and to kind of learn some things. Everyone thinks he's Troy, of course, because he looks and talks like him. So yeah. He manages to convince Pollux that he is Troy and gains information on the bomb's location. So this was their plan. They go to Pollux. He's trying to go to Pollux, get the bomb information out of him. He gives them the bomb information, and yeah, mission success for now. Castor Troy unexpectedly awakens from his coma and discovers his face missing. So yeah. He calls his gang, and they force Dr. Walsh to transplant Archer's face onto him. So yeah, now he looks like Sean Archer, and the full face swap fully takes place here. Troy then kills the only people who know of the transplant, so they can't tell authorities about it. At the prison, Archer as Troy prepares to tell Biondi of the location, but is surprised when Troy as Archer appears. So it's kind of confusing, but they come face to face for the first time in this movie. Troy as Archer gloats that no one knows of the transplant and that he will take over Archer's life. He will live a free man, as Archer will be in prison as Troy for the rest of his life. So yeah, that probably backfired on him a little bit. So yeah. Pollux is freed when he willingly tells Troy as Archer of the bomb's location, and Troy as Archer disarms the bomb in a dramatic fashion. So he's looking like a hero. He's looking like he's doing stuff that Sean Archer can never do. So Pollux is freed, obviously, because Troy is Archer, so he frees him, right? Yeah. Troy as Archer earns admiration from the FBI office and becomes close to Archer's wife Eve and daughter Jamie, whom Archer had been neglecting while chasing down Troy. He hasn't been able to see his family that much, but now that Troy, we'll just call him Troy because he is Archer. Now that Troy's finally closed the book on this thing, he gets a lot of admiration from the people, and obviously there's a lot of jealousy from Archer because not only is he rock bottom in this max security prison, but He also doesn't get the admiration from his wife that he would have if he finished this case. So, yeah. Back at the prison, Archer as Troy escapes after staging a riot and retreats to Troy's headquarters to try to fit in, I guess, like make love to his wife and fit in, so she like has his trust and whatnot. So yeah, but it starts as a riot. He escapes with this other prisoner, and yeah, he meets Sasha, the sister of Troy's primary drug kingpin, and her son Adam, who reminds him of Michael. They look like exactly alike, which is kind of sad and like coincidental and kind of weird too. So yeah, she has Troy has a son that looks exactly like his son. So it's kind of haunting to him, I bet. But yeah, it also brings back memories. Archer as Troy discovers that Adam is Troy's son, like he is his son, and it seems like he has like a memory loss because he doesn't know anything about Troy's personal life. Troy as Archer learns of Archer as Troy's escape and hastily assembles a team to raid his headquarters. So he's pretty much going to friendly fire on his own headquarters, which is crazy, but it honestly makes sense. The raid turns into a bloodbath, and many FBI agents and several members of Troy's gang, including Pollux, are killed, while Archer, Sasha, and Adam are able to escape. So he really did this for nothing. All he did was kill his own brother, kill a bunch of the FBI agents, and kill his gang members. So he really didn't gain anything. I guess he killed the FBI members, but that's literally it. Archer's supervisor, director Victor Lazaro, blames Troy as Archer for the numerous slayings. Like, why you caused this? You encouraged this? Why would you do this? You ordered this on them? And yeah, you just kind of made a mess of it. Troy as Archer, furious over Pollock's death, kills Lazaro and makes it look like a heart attack. He like punches him in the chest, and obviously Lazaro has like heart problems, so he like has a heart attack. He literally kind of has a heart attack. Like, yeah, he gets hit right in the right spot and just gets stunned to death. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Troy as Archer is promoted to acting director, so he gets some promotions for what he did with the Troy case. Yeah, Archer as Troy finds safety for Sasha and Adam. Obviously, like, the family part of him wants him to save his fake family, but yeah, he does that. Then he approaches Eve and convinces her to test Troy as Archer's blood to prove his identity. Now, obviously, she is frightened because this is the guy, appearance-wise, that killed their only son. Obviously, they have a daughter, but they wanted a son, and Troy ruined that. So obviously, she's frightened at first, but then she goes and tests the blood, and she realizes it. They didn't change like the blood type. They didn't change bodies. They just changed face appearance and all that stuff, all the cosmetics, not the biological stuff. After testing the blood and being convinced of her husband's identity, Eve tells Archer that Troy will be vulnerable at Lazaro's funeral, so he can strike then. That's when he can take out the plan to execute him and swap their faces back, perhaps. At the ceremony, Archer as Troy finds that Troy as Archer has anticipated his actions and taken Eve hostage. He knows exactly what's going to happen. Eve is starting to catch on. He knows this. There's a lot of distrust in their fake relationship, and he's ready. He's ready for everything that Troy as Archer, or Archer as Troy is ready for him. I mean, Sasha arrives and a gunfight ensues. Sasha manages to save Eve after taking a bullet. So Troy's fake wife, or Archer's fake wife, pretty much, has taken a bullet for his real wife. So that's interesting. Archer as Troy promises a dying Sasha that he will take care of Adam and raise him away from criminal life, which he does keep this promise, and there's like a really beautiful ending to this movie. In a fight between the rivals outside, Jamie shoots and injures Archer as Troy, pretty much shooting her father in disguise. Troy as Archer flees the church with Archer as Troy pursuing them, so now they have like this they have a crazy chase that's going to happen here. Troy as Archer briefly takes Jamie hostage, but she escapes by stabbing him with the butter knife that Troy as Archer had given her for self-defense, kind of like a full circle moment in the movie. He gets injured by something that he's taught his fake daughter to do. Troy as Archer reaches the docks and commandeers a speedboat, and Archer as Troy follows and commandeers one of his own. So now there's like a boat chase at this point in the movie. So a chase ensues that ends when Archer as Troy forces Troy as Archer to the shore by collision, and they're kind of just sitting there fatigued. With the boats grounded, Archer as Troy bests Troy as Archer in a melee fight. That's kind of how it ends. Troy as Archer attempts to mutilate Archer's fate to taunt and distract Archer as Troy, but Archer as Troy instead gains the upper hand and kills Troy as Archer by impaling him with a spear gun, avenging the deaths of Michael and all of Troy's other victims. So it's kind of like the symbolic meaning of that, I guess. It's like cutting his face in this like evil gesture, like I'm just gonna destroy your face so you can't get it back type of thing. Backup agents arrive and address Archer as Troy as Archer, having been convinced by Eve of Archer's true identity. So she tells them this is actually Archer. After the face transplant surgery is reversed, Archer returns home where he adopts Adam into his family, keeping his promise to Sasha. So kind of a dope moment there at the end. That was cool how they did that. He had to keep the promise. He didn't want to just leave this kid behind because he did it in his other kid died in his past. So he didn't want that to happen again. Looking at the critical response for this movie, obviously John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, universal acclaim. They both did great in this movie. Charisma, the humor, the badassery, I guess. Rotten Tomatoes, 92%, 87 reviews, 7.8 out of 10 average rating. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage play cat and mouse and literally play each other against a beautifully styled backdrop of typical elegant over-the-top John Woo violence. 8.2 out of 10 on Metacritic, universal acclaim, of course, B+ on CinemaScore, as kind of their average grade. The role reversal between Travolta and Cage was obviously subject to praise. The stylized violent action sequences were great as well. 3 out of 4 on Chicago Sun-Times. Here, using big movie stars and asking them to play each other, Woo and his writers find a terrific counterpoint to the action scenes. All through the movie, you find yourself reinterpreting every scene as you realize the other character is really playing it. You may not buy the premise or the wind-up, but with Travolta and Cage taking comic and psychic measures of their characters and their own careers, there's no resisting face-off. This you gotta see, right? The film isn't just a thrill ride, it's a rocket into the thrilling past when directors could scare you with how much emotion they packed into a movie. The movie's, some people say it's idiotic, some people say a good director would choose the best of the 6 ways and put it in this movie. Woo puts all 6 in. If you keep your eyes closed during a Woo movie and open them every 6 minutes, you'll see everything you need to know to have a perfectly lovely evening at the cinema. What? It was nominated for many rewards. The Academy Award for Best Sound Effect Editing. Shout out to Mark Stockinger and Per Hallberg at the 70th Academy Awards. They lost to Titanic that year, so that's saying something. The Saturn Awards for Best Movie Director and Best Writing. MTV Movie Awards for Best Action Sequence like the Speedboat, and the Best On-Screen Duo for Travolta and Cage. They won all of the rest of those. It's kind of like a holy trinity of Nicolas Cage films, kind of like Con Air in 1997 and The Rock in 1996. So this movie seems to be an inspiration for Infernal Affairs. The director of that show, though, wanted to have a more realistic situation instead of a physical face change. For this show, they wanted to have the characters swap identities. The concept of Bianlan, or change face, a technique traditionally used in Chinese opera, may have been used here to depict the fluid and seamless morph of Chen Lao's characters' identities between the good and bad sides. Infernal Affairs, in turn, has spawned several adaptations like The Departed with Martin Scorsese, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. So I don't really have much to say. I think this is a pretty good movie. They plan on remaking the film, so yeah, that'd be cool. A direct sequel, I'd love that. This is a pretty dope movie. I don't have much to say though. I think it's got a really cool concept behind it, a lot of emotion. These 2 actors I'm starting to become fans of. I haven't watched a shit ton of John Travolta or Nicolas Cage movies, but maybe this is going to start my spree. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch a bunch of others, but Jesus TV, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Happy holiday season, boys. I will see you guys in the next one for Dexter, and then we will also have an NBA recap later tonight. So yeah, again, leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the noti bell. This week, actually tonight, in less than 12 hours, we're getting a Metro Boomin album. So tomorrow I will have an edited reaction out for that. So be on the lookout, guys. I got a test here in like 50 minutes, so